Okay, so let me get this back up here. So today we're gonna talk about trend lines, which are lines that model the data in a scatter plot. So we talked about the scatter plots yesterday. So today we're gonna kind of focus on what we're doing with the scatter plots, what we're doing with the information that we have. So the first definition is trend line, which is a line that models the data in a scatter plot. It's also known as the line of best fit. The second thing I want to talk about are the guidelines for trend lines. So the purpose or the main goal is to be to approximate the same slope as the data. You don't want your line to be too far outside of the general slope of your data. Even if the association is not a strong one, you generally want to split that data down the middle and kind of go with the slope or whatever's there. Second guideline I have is to aim to have half of the points above or half of the points below and then half of your data points above your trend line. So again, you want to have half of your points below and half above. Now it won't always be perfect. Let's say you had 12 points and you got 5 above and 7 below. Um, that may work depending on how the data looks. You may have some outliers, you may have some data points that are hard to get through. So generally though, you want to have half of the points above, half below. So if you had 6 points, you want to have 6 above, 6 below. That would be ideal. And then the third guideline I have is you want to try to draw the trend line between 2 points. I'm sorry, through 2 points. I wrote between, but I meant through. You want to try to draw the trend line through 2 points. Again, it won't always be perfect. So we have some examples here, and wait, let me switch out. Get a fresh copy. Okay, so we have a scatter plot here that says we have the title of the scatter plot. It's about runners. We have their pace in miles per hour. We have the distance. So as the distance increase, their pace or their speed tends to decrease, which makes sense. The longer you run, the slower you want to start to run as you get tired, right? So that is a negative association. Okay, the distance and the speed negative association when it comes to running. So what I want to do is I want to put my you're gonna need a ruler, and hopefully your ruler is see-through. So we have 12 points here: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I want to kind of put my ruler there and try to split those points here. So far, if I draw it here, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I think that is the best fit there. Now, this won't always be this won't always be perfect. But so my line follows generally the slope of that data set. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 above and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 below. And so that's a pretty good trend line. Okay, so right now we're focusing on just drawing a trend line. Eventually we'll get into tomorrow. We'll get into predicting once you draw the trend line. But right now I just want you guys to focus. Now, going back to my guidelines, I didn't draw the 2 points. That won't always happen. Just like it won't always happen to where you have half above and half below. But those are general guidelines you want to try to reach for as you draw your trend lines. Same thing on this one. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 points. So I want to draw half above, half below. So I'm going to try to kind of split those points there. Okay, so I got 3 below and kind of 3 above. I kind of hit this point here, but I got pretty close. And so again, that's the trend line. We're just following the general trend. It follows the slope of that line. It's another negative graph. It's a negative slope. The time you spend versus the distance until arrival. So the more time you spend traveling, the shorter your distance to arrival becomes, which makes sense. So that's the trend line for that one. And then we have this one, the Drama Club. We have years since establishment and the membership. So we noticed that as the years go by, the membership tends to rise. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we have an odd number of points, first of all. So we can't do half and half exactly, but we're going to try to get close. And this one will not be easy. So we're going to put it there. We're looking at put it there, looking at 1, 2. This one won't be perfect at all. But we ended up with 1, 2, 3 above and 1, 2, 3, 4 below. So we got pretty close. So all I did was try to put the ruler there and split the data, follow the trend line. I went through a couple points, and then I got 1, 2, 3 above and 1, 2, 3, 4 below. And so that's pretty good, especially considering it wasn't an even number to begin with. So I was never going to have an even number above and below. But all you need to do is count the number of points and try to get your line to A, follow the general slope, B, split the middle and have half above, half below, and then C, you want to try to get it through some points. If not, it's not the end of the world, but you do want to try to get it through a couple points so we know that trend line hits some of our data points. So what you guys want to do is you're going to try the trend lines for these 3 at the bottom and then bring those to class tomorrow.